So, Peroxide finally updated for the first time in... Yikes. But yeah, they didn't really add any content in this update, so it's kind of a nothing burger update. It's just balance changes and some patches and stuff. But I still thought I'd go over it since I haven't made a video in quite a while, so we'll just be going over the changes in this video, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on each and every one of them. So let's just get right into it here.
Imaginary technique. Purple.
Alright, Sokutsui. They changed up Sokutsui. Variant is now base behavior. No longer has a no backstab property. It's good. It's now move stackable. Very good. It guard breaks when you're close by. That's also really good. Increased damage, also very good. Color based on Ryatsu, that's cool. And adjusted launch velocity. I guess this means that it makes you go faster or slower. I'm not sure which one. Probably faster, considering these are all buffs, but yeah, overall it's really good. Sokutsui, absolute dog shit move. Byakurai was better than it for a good time, so this is a really good change in my eyes. Dimension finally getting some love here. Added a new M2 passive, Demonic Blade. I haven't seen this passive yet, so I don't know if it's good or not, but from what I've heard, it's not that impressive. Imprisonment Fist base damage increased, no longer crumble stun, that's okay. Condense all is fake, but okay, that doesn't matter. What can I even say about Dimension? I mean, Dimension is in a really bad state right now. I don't think adding just one M2 passive and increasing the damage for a move a little bit is gonna help it out all that much. So these are very much band-aid fixes for now. The fixes for Sokutsui obviously work as band-aid fixes because it's one move, not just an entire, like, you know, full bring or element like Soul Reaper element. So bandaging can work, but not if you're applying it to an entire, like, element in your game, right? Bandaging only works when you're applying it to a move. Alright, on to move stacking. Firefly Assault fix being able to use in specific stuns. I'm assuming this refers to a lot of the, like, Amazon Kether Firefly Assault. If this didn't fix Violet Slash into Firefly Assault on Amazon, I don't know what to say, because that is absolutely busted. You just get a free guard bypass and combo extender. It's really stupid. Moving on, Lightning Shower Rain, reverted shadow change allowed to be used in specific stuns. That's okay, I guess. I don't have much to say about that. Moving on, we got Hado 99. That's fine. That's a fine change because I'm pretty sure that was bug abuse anyway. I don't think you should be allowed to incant the fucking move while you're in a stun. And Ryatsu clip 40 carat. Thank God for this change. Absolutely, this is absolutely deserved. You should not be able to use Ryatsu Eclipse mid 14 karat gleam or mid anything with Midas. 14 karat gleam itself was just very troublesome move. So good change so far, not that bad, but I've read this list before. It gets a lot worse, so we'll just keep reading. These are just some general fixes here, so I'll just kind of fly through them real quick. Ryatsu burst with Null Gem. It makes it so now that you take 50% less damage, which is okay, I guess. I think Ryatsu burst Null Gem is kind of underpowered, so I don't know why they're doing this with it. High-end doesn't guard break anymore, which is an interesting change. I don't know why they did that, but I guess because the move comes out very fast. It used to be a very good block break, so I guess they wanted to kind of lower the impact of it, but yeah, don't know why they did that. Kick Flurry, this doesn't matter. High speed regen, this doesn't matter. Headstrong, I did not know about this, but apparently you could use moves during attack refer. Yeah, that's bad. Should not be able to do that. Aerial Assault, increase the recovery to 66 frames from 51 frames. As if 51 frames is enough fucking recovery time in this dog shit fighting game. They have to increase it to over a second of recovery time. Why? Why would you do this? Why? Why? I don't understand. Alright, moving on. Shinten Raiho. Decreased damage. That's good. Shinten Raiho did way too much damage for what it was. Agari Sero. Damage decreased. Also good. Agari Sero also does way too much damage for what it is. Recovery frames increased from 0 frames to 30. I do not know why the recovery frames on Agari Sero was 0 frames. I don't know like what they were thinking when they made it 0 frames, but yeah, at least now you can punish Agari Seros properly, so that's good. Byakurai, no longer move stacks anymore. Absolutely one of the... Actually, no, I can't say one of the worst changes, because there's far worse changes below, but why would you make Byakurai no longer move stack? You just ruin all combo potential for every Soul Reaper build imaginable. Alright, Firefly Assault. Startup increase from 24 frames to 33 frames. I don't know how to feel about this. I felt that Firefly Assault startup was fine. It was fast enough to be good. And slow enough that it wasn't like super busted or anything. So I think this is kind of an over nerf here. Impale. Don't really care about Impale. Double-edged. Very good change. Double-edged was a really stupid perk. Underdog, also very good change. If I have any viewers that use double-edged and underdog, please kill yourself.
I can tell you what this really means. It means China has successfully killed the Wither and now has the resources necessary to activate a beacon.
Byakurai wall slams are now M2 counterable. This makes sense. I don't know why this wasn't the case before. But yeah, this is okay. That's a fine Byakurai nerf. Ryoden base damage increased. Finally, they've buffed Ryoden, even though it's not that big of a buff, but you know, it's better than nothing. So, not bad, not bad. Flame, Stark, Oasis, and Dimension, Sokotsu Detonation, Wisp, Splash, Draws, Pressing Barrage, Illusion Splash, no longer targets skeletons, Oasis, okay, that doesn't matter. Final M1, no longer guard breaks. Final M1, no longer guard breaks. Can we talk about how dog shit of a change this is real quick? I've seen a lot of people celebrating this change as a good thing because apparently Peroxide did this before once during Wave. And sure, you know, it might have been good during Wave, but just because it was good during Wave does not mean it's going to be good now, especially considering the game has changed so much since Wave. So, not really a valid argument for this being good. I think this is an absolutely horrible change. I think this is the worst thing they could have done. I don't know why they did it. The 5th M1 was a really good tool to stop people from just holding F, especially if you didn't have, like, very good guard breaks in your kit. Now, just, you know, if you want to win, play passive, hold F, you know. I guess that's the kind of playstyle they want to promote. That's fine. Don't agree with it. Alright, next. I'm not going to say too much about that. Because I'll have to see how it goes. But I don't think it's a good change, so we're just gonna move on now. Lightning Dimension, Glacier, Visor, Revive, F, M2 counter, okay, all bypass hard armor, that's fine. Don't really care that much about that. Alright, moving on to some quinchy ones. So Vermin, Hornet Drill, immediately hops up from start, reduced 60 frames to 36 frames. That's okay, I don't think Vermin needs any buffs, but it's whatever. Hornet Drill, recovery reduced, that's fine. Wow, that's almost half. They were 0.2 seconds recovery, are you kidding me? Do they expect you to punish that move at all, or I don't know. Whatever, Plaguebringer alt, double heals. I might need to hop on Vermin actually. Moving on to Apocalypse, Famine, Poison Cloud, overall damage increase, that's fine. I think they should increase it by more, honestly, because the Famine Poison Cloud really sucks as a move. It's just a free PB, and if you're close enough, you get punished. It is what it is. Conquest Grab. Don't think the Conquest Grab damage needs to be increased. It already does pretty good damage. It's about an aerial assault's worth of damage, so that's fine, I think. Alright, Eidolon, Seek. Adjusted launch velocity, trying to become more consistent like Glacier. That's good. Stun time increase, that's also good. Elon really needs buffs. Please buff this dog shit ass Shrift. Forest, let's see what they did with Forest. Spirit of the Forest Rage, improved turning. That's good. The ult is really hard to maneuver, but I think that's kind of the point of it, because, I mean, if you can just like pop it and not get punished and get free damage off it, it's kind of stupid, no? So I think it's like, I don't know how to feel about this one. I'll move on. Moz, not an extended GCD. Blockable, made blockable and knocks away. That's an interesting change. Don't know how to feel about that. I don't really play Forest, so you'd probably have to ask somebody who actually plays Forest. Health Spirit, knocks people away similar to Glacier, added into extender GCD. Okay. Yeah, don't really care that much about that. Oasis, let's go. Oasis nerfs, I love to see it. I love to see it. Rainmaker, recovery increased. Yes, please, thank you. Aqua Mirage, yes. Please nerf it to the ground. To be honest, I don't care for the moves that much. Actually, I think they should buff the moves. I just think the ult is really fucking stupid. They really need to nerf the ult. And I think they just did. So, Floodgates of Paradise, overall duration scaling halved. Wow, that's actually really good. Really good nerf. And first hit no longer guard breaks. That's also pretty good. So, Oasis ult, harder to land. You can be more vigilant. There's more counterplay to it. That's good. Alright, music. Bass drop cancelable. Absolutely good change. Thumbs up on this one. They should nerf music to the ground. They should make the ult do less damage. The ball is now cancelable, so that's good. But they should also nerf the boombox and make it so that it doesn't make you unblock whenever you get hit by, you know, one of the sound waves of it. But yeah, music absolutely busted. Even with this little nerf here, this isn't gonna do much to it. Kether, wow, okay, I just see a bunch of nerfs. Yikes. Yikes. 15% damage reduction across all skills except for Furiosa. So you know what, I'm fine with that. Kether did a little too much damage anyway. Furiosa damage increased by 15%. Fine with that too. Ult was not that good. Durandal within the last hit remove the gap in the move that lets you use other moves in it. Don't agree with that. Don't know why they changed that. Using Sender GCD move will put Tellier logic on cooldown for 7 seconds. Don't know why they did that either. That's not a good change. Wheels Industry M2 no longer initiates a chain combo with Kevin. Oh my god, that is absolutely horrible. Why would they do that? As if M2s in this game are bad enough. You gotta make Kether's M2 already work. Okay. Perfect block. Ragnar Workshop base damage increased. And fixed info saying the incorrect amount. Okay. Don't care about that. The perfect block needs a rework. It does not need damage increases. They're just band-aid fixes. Wheels Industry, base M2 damage increased. That's fine. Don't really care about that. Alice Workshop M2 counter base damage increased. No longer procs weak bleed and adds damage scaling to the opponent to out of stun 25%. That's fine. That's a fine change. I think the M2 counter needed a nerf anyway. So a bunch of really dog shit changes and like a couple of good changes here and there, and this is a trend you're gonna notice, by the way, across the board with these changes. A bunch of dog shit changes and like a couple of good changes here and there, which is kind of just made me lose all hope in the balancing team, if they even have a balancing team. I don't know who's testing this. But yeah, let's move on here. Stark got some changes, some very interesting changes. Renunciar active frames increased from 30 frames to 36 frames. That's good. The counter was absolutely horrible. Left in the state it was. I don't think a 0.1 second increase is gonna help. I think it should be back to the way it was before. But you know, counters in this game are kind of dog shit anyway, so balancing them is kind of a tough job. Because if you just increase the numbers on them, they become too good. If you just decrease the numbers on them, they become too bad, and you can't really find that middle spot in between. Ground Colmilo base damage, a tick increased. Okay, don't know why they did that. Colmilo already did enough damage. Colmilo can be used again, even when extender on cooldown, but knocks back now. Not hitting the last hit hit of Air Comilo will increase its priority from 30 frames to 60 frames. Don't know why they changed that. Air Comilo was in an interesting spot back when Stark was first released, because you could jump and then use it to basically kind of get like a free combo extender, and it would do insane amounts of bleed damage, just way too much. But obviously they fixed that. And Colmilo, I don't know, I feel like there's no incentive to use Air Colmilo, and I feel like you can just use ground Colmilo and it's worth way more than using Air Colmilo, but I guess we'll see. Metroletta base damage reduced from 0.65 to 0.585. That's fine, it did way too much damage anyway. Metroletta can be used at any meter, but its damage is dependent on meter. It scales from 25% to 100% of original damage, linear proportionally to amount of meter. Absolutely amazing change. Greatest change in this list by far. I don't know why you had an element where you just couldn't use the ult. That's a little stupid, but great change here. Metroletta still requires max bar, if not in Segunda to use. Makes sense. Wolves and Colmilo increase Metro bar 5% on use as long as they aren't cancelled. That's also pretty good. Gives more incentive to use both of these moves too. And here we arrive to possibly the change I hate the most personally, although I don't think it's that bad of a change. Not the expression one, I don't really care about that. But Death Cutter, startup increased from 9 frames to 24 frames. That's almost 3 times the startup, which is just wow. I don't know what to say. And reduced stun time from 111 frames to 30 frames. What are they doing? Why are they doing this to my poor Death Cutter? Why would they do it? At least make it a guard break again, please. I can't say it's not warranted. Death Cutter was in a very weird state after they removed the guard break from it, where it was kind of a defensive and offensive tool that you could use to combo extend. I wouldn't say it was super overpowered, but it was definitely one of the better Orochi Hakuda moves, especially after the rest of them got nerfed. But yeah, just I don't really agree with this. Obviously I'm a little biased considering how much I love Death Cutter, but yeah, they kind of butchered it. And it really just pains my heart, because if you guys didn't know, I used to main Beast on this, and this is now the second time that they've absolutely gutted my builds. So I'm still on Manifest now, it's not that bad. We'll probably just replace Death Cutter with something else, maybe like Light. But yeah, not a big fan of this change. Moving on, Divisor Revive. Form duration no longer counts on time anymore and doesn't run out after 120 seconds. Form bar will go down from damage sustained. Taking damage will lower form bar now. Max HP percentage loss ratio. Okay, don't care about that. Form bar will go up with damage inflicted. Okay, user's HP bar will now reflect the user's form bar. Fix the broken part of the cutscene. I don't know how to feel about this change. On one hand, I'm glad that they're doing something with Vasto Rage. On the other hand, I don't know if that something is good or not. I don't think it's that good. I think they should keep the timer on Vasto Rage, because to me Vasto Rage has always been like this, you know, last chance that you get. You know, you have 120 seconds to kill your opponent, and if you don't, you lose, right? But the issue with Vasto Rage has always been, especially after HOS came out, that it's underperforming like heavily, so it's not that good. But I think the solution to that would have just been give Vasto Rage more like utility stuff and more damage tools, rather than just giving it that one M2 and this arrow and the kind of useless passives that it has. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. Let's move on. Clock. The chronology base cooldown has been decreased. Good change. Clock is in a bad spot. Clones. False clones cooldown doesn't start until all clones are dead. Don't know why they're nerfing clones. Don't care. Glacier Summon Swords. Absolutely agree with this nerf. They need to nerf Glacier Summon Swords to the ground. I don't know what they were thinking, especially with HOS, but you know, if you were up against a Glacier HOS who had Summon Swords on, you could not combo them. You would just die. You would take more damage from you comboing them which is just, I don't know how that got through any sort of testing, but guess we'll move on. Glacial doesn't down slam anymore, that's fine. I don't know why it did down slam before. Frozen Fang base damage reduced from 19 to 11. Don't agree with that. Don't really know why they reduced it so much. And I don't know why it says thank you at the end of that, but whatever. Gravity Doomsday if used out of field. So they changed gravity a bit from what I've seen, and apparently it's pretty good now. So might become a gravity main. Here comes the juicy bits. Horn of Salvation. Horn of Salvation now requires 100% of the bar to use. That's good. Having Horn of Salvation makes alternate bar only able to fill up while in Bankai. Also very good. So they basically changed the stat boost that it gives you. Getsuga Granray Slash. Base damage decreased. Good. They should decrease it more. Don't know why it does so much damage. And the knockbacks, not bad either. Salvation Roar can be cancelled and startup. Great. Absolutely great. Applies M1 immunity to the opponent for its stun duration. That's fine. Change stun from 0.7 to 0.1 at taking the user's 6 frame advantage in the opponent instead of 42. Absolutely great. Now you can't just abuse Scream and get a free combo off of it. Looking at you, Mason. Astra. Don't know how to feel about these Astra changes. Founding Rain of Stars has been removed from Mixed Energy CD, but it gives you M1 immunity and uppercut immunity. So I don't know why the M1 and uppercut immunity matters so much, considering you can just like use a Grand Ray or Nagar Ray and still M1 off of that, I guess, to decrease the amount of M1s you can do, but it still does way too much damage, and it still has way too quick of a startup, which they actually nerfed now. The startup has increased from 30 frames to 54 frames, which is quite a bit of a startup. It's basically a 1 second startup, which means it's probably much easier to react to now, which means it's probably a lot worse now. But considering these changes, yeah, I just don't know how to feel about Astra. I think it's worse off than it was before, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how good it is. And they also increased the cooldown on Spatial Dominance. That's fine. That ult is really good anyway. Glacier, a bunch of Glacier changes, and most of them are nerfs. That's fine. I don't really care about most of the Glacier passives. The only one I do care about is the clone one, so they nerfed that here. It only spawns a clone every other dash, so absolutely great change. They should nerf it more because it's very confusing and makes the game a lot harder when fighting against the Glacier. Explosion, impact point, M1 uppercut immunity. Brilliant change. Don't know why they didn't do this before. Blast Overdrive can no longer be used in stun except for knocked stun. Don't know why they did this. Doesn't really make sense, but okay. Blast Overdrive mode M2 counter stun time significantly reduced, so that's also a really good change. You can't just get a free combo off an M2 counter anymore. I don't know if they fixed the issue with Byakurai and Explosion, where it would basically just give you a 15-second combo extender. If they haven't, shame on them. Gravity. This seems to be the most changed thing so far. Apparently got back one of its old moves. Yeah, if you hold carry and use the orbital pull, it turns the former old move, Bancho Tenin orbital pull. So don't really know much about old Gravity. I didn't play back then, so I'll have to see how good it is. But apparently from what I've heard, it's really good. Like a little too good. Flower. Pale Slash's first hit doesn't knock away anymore, and Pale Slash has no knockdown tag now. That's fine, don't really care about that. Flower Tornado base damage decreased, thank the Lord for that. Flower Tornado startup has also been increased, thank the Lord for that too. Blossoming Assault damage lowered, that's fine. Just a bunch of flower nerfs and a little bit of flower changes. They need to make that one move better though on Flower that makes you go into the ground. I forgot the name of it. I think it's Petal Storm. Don't remember. I think it is Petal Storm. Yeah, it is Petal Storm. I don't know why they're nerfing this move. Doesn't make any sense. Flame, Ocean of Fire, now dual scales. Good. Absolutely great change. Love it. Ocean of Fire, Tornado, pulls in instead of knocking away. Absolutely love that change too. I don't know why it knocked away. You just couldn't get any damage off it. Great change. Makes fire more usable now. Ocean of Fire, base damage halved. That makes sense because now that it pulls in, it's probably going to do a lot of damage. So they gotta half that. Skeleton spawn for motion of fire, specifically damage halved. That's fine too. This ult is a lot better now in my opinion. Lightning, advancing storm, hitbox size lowered slightly. I don't know what lowered slightly means. I guess I'll have to see in a private server, but please lower it more than slightly. I feel like that hitbox is way too big. 1000 birds, ultimate conduction gem disabled briefly after using one of the following. Soko to aerial assault, absolutely love this change. It was really stupid how you could just do aerial assault or Soko to the lightning ult. Just did way too much damage. Next, duality. Imperial assault stun time increase. Darkened snarl drops 1.5 times more ink. That's fine. Duality is in a not that good position right now. I think it needs some buffs, especially the ult. They need to do something with the ult. Alright, and that is everything on this list here. And I'll be giving my final thoughts now. And honestly, I don't know how to feel about this. About the balance changes. I mean, I do know how to feel about this update as a whole. They made us wait 8 months. 8 whole months for balance changes. If that doesn't make you angry, it should. But, as for the actual balance changes themselves, there's a lot of bad ones. There's a few good ones here and there, and there's a few questionable ones, so it's a step in the right direction, definitely, because balancing is better than no balancing, which we've had for 8 months now. But yeah, overall, not that good. Just, yeah, not that good. I think that's all I can say. See ya.